welcome back, or welcome in to my reading slash sort of ASMR, lo-fi ASMR channel. So today is going to be kind of a combined reading, where I'm going to be doing a horoscope reading combined with shadow work. So if you're unfamiliar with shadow work, it was started by Carl Jung. It's basically a way to feel more whole, be more whole. So your shadow is basically parts of yourself that you suppress, parts of yourself that that you might be ashamed of, or you try to hide. But the more and more you hide it, or the more and more you suppress it, it just acts out, kind of like how you suppress your anger and it just seeps out in other ways. That's kind of how your shadow is. So the point of shadow work is to kind of incorporate it into yourself, and to also heal that part of yourself, so you are a more whole person. So if you're on your spiritual journey, it's not about being happy all the time, being joyful all the time. It's still human to feel negative emotions, or negative emotions, and to feel depressed or anxious. Being spiritual doesn't mean you don't have those feelings anymore. They still occur even in like the best tarot readers or the best spiritual leaders. It's just they know how to deal with them. They have healthy coping mechanisms. And at least for me, shadow work is a way to be more emotionally intelligent, and be more true to yourself and connect to yourself as well. So this reading is going to be more about what aspects of your shadow that you need to heal, and what aspects of your shadow that you need to be more aware of. And on the horoscope reading, I'm going to be studying on Aries, so that's sun, moon, or rising. And by the way, I am in Aries, well, Pisces, Aries cusp, Pisces moon, and Libra rising. So I'm going to be doing all the signs soon. I just don't know when I get to Pisces, I don't know when that's going to be. So before you pick a card, and before I put the crystals on there, I just wanted to kind of clear the area, clean the room. So I'm going to be lighting some sage. This also helps clear the energy. And kind of imagine the smoke kind of cleaning you as well. So I'm going to be behind you, kind of off to the side, outlining your body. Don't worry about the smoke being too heavy. Okay, so number one. You guys have this pendulum. Number two, lapis lazuli. And number three, carnelian. Alright, so hopefully that cleared and cleaned the energy out for you. And choose 1, 2, or 3. All of the above, doesn't matter. We're starting number 1 in just a few moments. Alright, pile number 1. Those of you guys who chose this broken pendulum here. Alright, so we have your current energy, your shadow aspect that you need to work on, some words of affirmation, and how you can heal the shadow. So these two, I'm just going to read these two together. So we have Page of Bestowed And then we have Three of Stones, creativity, both in reversed. So for this one, I did a shadow reading for myself, so I feel like I know what this is saying. It's basically, I think currently some of you feel lost, you don't know what to do, and it's because you don't trust your inner guidance well enough. So for example, you might think someone else knows more than you, or you're not competent enough to rely on yourself altogether. But with this card, I see the light and choose to reside in His living presence. Basically, it's saying to be more compassionate to yourself, love yourself more, have a lot more unconditional love, have more unconditional love for yourself. Don't expect everything to be perfect, don't expect yourself to be perfect. And just have a lot more trust in yourself. So we have connect with your ancestors. Personally, I don't know that much about ancestor work, but I think connecting with them can help you build the confidence that you need for yourself, or maybe you can look to them for guidance and wisdom on how to trust yourself more, or ask how they learned how to trust their inner guidance. Alright, so that was point number 1 for Aries. If you like that video, be sure to, if you like the reading, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And also I have my personal readings down below in the description box through my Etsy and my Instagram, where I also post I post previously the readings, maybe a couple hours or days before I post them on YouTube. So that's pile number 1. I'm gonna move on to pile number 2. Alright, pile number 2. For those of you guys who chose the lapis lazuli. So we have your current energy, your shadow aspect, and of course your self-care oracle and your affirmation cards. So I'm gonna read these two together. We have Pharaoh Stone's protection and Ace of Arrows, the breath of life. So with the breath of life, usually this is a positive card, but in this reading, I kind of feel like some of you could be go-getters. A lot of you take action before you plan things out. That's just how you work. But I think some of you either made choices in your life that weren't wise, or people kind of reprimanded you for this part of yourself. Because of criticisms that you faced here, or decisions that you made that you beat yourself up for, I feel like this is saying that you started to withdraw from other people or withdraw within yourself, and instead of being the person who kind of takes action first, you kind of reverted to the opposite way, where you kind of just don't take any action at all. So with these here, we have no one knows as my soul as well as I do. I give myself permission to trust, to walk my own path and follow my own heart. It's loving for me to say no to things that don't resonate. I allow myself to simply experience this without judgment. And then we have connect with the moon and deep breathing for your self-care oracle cards. So this here is saying to kind of find a balance between taking action and thinking through things. So if you're the type of person who takes action before they plan things out, it's just saying to find a common middle ground between those two. So you don't have to become that person who plans things out from A to Z, or you have to have this whole thing mapped out before you start anything. It's just saying to take a couple of moments before you actually do something, and at the same time still trust your intuition, still take action, still have that part of yourself because you feel like it's right for you. Yeah, so deep breathing and connect with the moon. So deep breathing again, take a couple of moments before you kind of rush through things. Then we connect with the moon. So I'm gonna connect this with this one as well. So just because you made a few mistakes in your past, it doesn't mean that you're untrustworthy or you're not reliable. Connecting with the moon can be a good way to kind of channel through your energy, reflect on yourself. It's also good for manifestations as well. Learn how to trust yourself. Alright, pile number 3. Those big guys who chose that carnelian. Okay, so we have your current energy and your shadow self. These two are going to be read together, or at least they kind of influence each other. So for your shadow self, I feel like it has to do with being alone or codependency for some of you. And then we have current energy. So yeah, it feels like you are still dealing with this because there is this unbalance here. And I feel like the unbalance has to do with being with other people, but not being too reliant on them, but also being yourself and not feeling maybe anxious or feeling alone. Just being comfortable with yourself. And then I'm gonna start off with this one next. So we have dream journal. Dream journaling isn't just a way to remember your dreams, but it can help with self-reflection, being more creative, connecting with your inner guidance and your subconscious mind. So yeah, it's really about connecting with yourself for this one. And then we have health checkup. For some of you, it could be physical health checkup, but I also think it could be mental as well. So seeing therapy or seeing a therapist. Therapy would be a great way to deal with any issues, especially if you're dealing with codependency and toxic relationships. And then I had the power to transmute anger and pain into progress and change. So I feel like this one is about moving on from the past. So maybe you dealt with someone toxic in the past, or a toxic relationship, or some kind of toxic connection in some way. And instead of holding on to that, it's encouraging you to not just accept it, but kind of learn from it and apply it into your life, but not in a way where you're still holding on to that anger. And then we have, it is safe for me to feel it all. So yeah, I feel like these two kind of connect. It's okay to be angry after dealing with something, or it's okay to kind of, it's okay to feel, is what I'm trying to say, after certain experiences. When it's saying after some time, it is good to let it go and just learn from it. And yeah, because just because you dealt with something in the past, it doesn't mean you have to block yourself out. It doesn't mean you have to block other people out and kind of build this wall around you. Because by building that wall around you and by blocking people out, that's still saying that you're still dealing with this problem and you're still holding on to that problem. So again, whatever that is, let it go. And for others of you, I also feel like it's saying to trust yourself more. Maybe some of you kind of hold yourself back from feeling certain emotions or expressing certain emotions or how you feel. This is kind of saying to kind of let it out. I mean, you don't have to be belligerent, but it's just saying that it's good to let it out for people to kind of know what's going on with you instead of bottling it all up. And I also think that connects with being comfortable with yourself, being comfortable alone, and just not relying on other people, on their opinions or what they think. So that was pile number 3. If that resonated with you, if you connected with that, be sure to leave a like, comment, or subscribe. And that is the end of the reading. Oh, and also my Etsy and personal readings down below, along with my Instagram.